Welcome everyone to DDT, Doug and Danny Talk, where we will review the first week of May editions of WWE Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. I am Danny.
I am Doug.
Welcome.
This is episode 4.
Yay, even numbers.
I'm not even going to ask you, Danny, because I know the answer.
Okay.
It was Raw.
Yeah, it was Raw.
Raw was better.
Yeah. SmackDown had some fun stuff, but Raw was an actual show. SmackDown only had 3 matches.
It was hour and 20 minutes before we even saw the second match.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even that good of a match.
What, Sheamus and Xavier Woods?
Yeah.
That was a good match.
I didn't find it that
but
great.
But still, we shouldn't get into the second hour and just having our second match.
Exactly.
Exactly.
What are they even... It was all interviews.
Interviews, backstage segments, promos. Yeah.
I don't understand why that was a waste of a show, really.
And that's the go home to Backlash, too.
Exactly. How's that supposed to lead into matches?
I know.
Anyway, let's talk about Raw first.
Okay.
So, show opens up with Roman Reigns coming out.
What else is new?
Immediately, the crowd boos the shit out of him.
So they were in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and the crowd that night was on fire.
Oh my
They were
God.
super into the show.
I think they're always like that when they go to Montreal, though.
Whenever they come to Canada, that's when Jerry Lawler used to call Canada Bizarro World, because that's where the night after WrestleMania when the announcers are like, oh, sometimes they're going to cheer people they don't normally cheer for, other times they're going to boo people they don't normally boo.
True.
That's Canada. We did that first.
Yeah. So Roman Reigns is in the ring talking a bunch about his shit. All that happened about Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
How he technically beat Brock Lesnar.
Which he did.
He should be champ, but he's not.
Yeah.
Because fuck Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe comes out. Or actually, he's on the screen.
Yeah.
He comes on the screen, just tells Roman off.
Yeah. Basically, you better be ready for Backlash.
Yeah. Jinder Mahal comes out.
Yay.
After that, and again is saying how he didn't win.
Yeah. Or he's saying that Jinder wasn't complaining when he lost to Jeff Hardy at Greatest Royal Rumble.
Exactly.
So why should Roman?
Exactly.
And then he challenged him to a match, which was interrupted by
Sami Zayn.
Yeah, who got a huge pop.
Oh, everyone loved him.
Oh my God.
But this is what bugged me about that. He claimed that he wasn't at Greatest Royal Rumble because he suffered vertigo.
By the hands of Bobby Lashley during that delayed vertical suplex.
Vertigo doesn't go away in a week.
Well, okay, the real reason is because Sami Zayn is part Syrian, and the Saudi Arabian government is currently in a real-life feud with the Syrian country government and people. That's another, WWE going to Saudi Arabia for the Greatest Royal Rumble, there was a lot of political things that they couldn't do, like women at the Greatest Royal Rumble. They weren't allowed there.
Yeah.
And then WWE aired a promo video for Backlash that featured women and apparently got in trouble for that, but it's also okay, but they're not here right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
People were excused from going to the Greatest Royal Rumble if they weren't comfortable with going, or if it was the travel or what have you.
You have the right to deny work in the workplace if you feel it's unsafe or...
Well, it's the same thing for Christmas for the troops when there were U.S. troops stationed out there from 2001 until 2010.
True.
So people were allowed to say no. Rob Van Dam, he never went over there. And it wasn't political. It was just because, dude, he told Vince, he was like, dude, I don't want to go because I've been working this insane schedule. I want the time off, and I'm not going to ride a 14-hour air ride to the desert.
All right, so Sami Zayn also wants to fight Roman tonight,
Mm-hmm.
which is when Kevin Owens comes out
Mm-hmm.
also wants to fight Reigns.
Yeah, they do a popularity contest.
Before even that, I'm just thinking, okay, it's going to be a fatal 4-way main event.
That'd be nice.
And standard, if multiple people want it, just put them all in one match.
Yeah.
So they do the popularity contest, in which Kevin Owens basically votes himself as founder of it, deciding who wins.
Yeah.
Or decides who the crowd gets to choose.
Yeah.
Goes to attack Reigns, which causes everyone to attack each other.
Well, just Roman Reigns. They all ganged up on Roman.
Well, it was 3-on-1,
Yeah.
turning into
Because
everyone
heels aren't going to attack heels. Heels attack the face. Well, which is technically Roman by disqualification.
Yeah, which led to having Bobby Lashley come out, helping Roman Reigns, which then everyone turned on Bobby.
Numbers game became too much, and then out came Braun Strowman to an enormous pop because everyone loves Braun Strowman.
Yeah. Which later on in the night we find out that turns into a 6-man tag main event, having a dominant team versus
Yeah. I don't like how Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Jinder Mahal, they've just been losing on Monday Night Raw for the last month, which makes me think that besides Jinder doesn't have a match scheduled. He could be on the pre-show. I think that Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, when they face Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman at Backlash, they'll pick up the win. And maybe it will be like, I'm hoping that it's a Braun Bobby Lashley feud leading into SummerSlam, but it won't be their SummerSlam match. Like, it would be something stupid like Braun's going in to give like Sami Zayn a big boot. Sami Zayn ducks, he hits Bobby, and then Kevin Owens super kicks him. Sami Zayn does the hula kick and whatever. They get the finish and they win. And then Bobby's just looking at him like, what the hell were you doing? And then like another match the next night, and then same thing happens, and then Bobby Lashley just beats the crap out of Braun Strowman.
Very possible.
It'd be cool.
Yeah. After commercial, we had Elias in concert.
Yeah.
Who actually got a chance to play for a bit this week. Still fighting Bobby Roode, though.
Yeah, rematch from last week.
And yet again, he's still doing mainly grapples.
Yeah, this week's match was a little bit better than last week's because they were actually focusing on the throat and neck area, so actually telling the story of trying to stop Bobby Roode from breathing and
I mean, yes, that it's a good strategy to wear the opponent down.
Yeah.
It's just not entertaining, though.
Yeah, it's like Elias. Like, there are some times when he like clotheslined the hell out of him, or like he like kneed him in the face or elbowed him in the face, and like you realize how jacked Elias's arms are.
Oh yeah,
he's a big man. But the finish of the match was after
a technical knockout,
yeah, because throughout the whole match, focusing on the throat, they get in on the apron, and Elias throws Bobby Roode into the steel post, but it also hit the top turnbuckle metal rod.
Yeah.
So like he hit like his collarbone neck area, and then he fell back and he just like gasped for air.
Yeah. So Elias, having the ego that he does, he announces himself as the winner.
Well, it makes sense. Bobby Roode couldn't continue.
But leave that to the announcers. Don't do it yourself.
Or the referee. But the referee wasn't going to do anything. He was just like, hey, man, I'm still checking up on him. I was like, all right, well, I'm not waiting anymore, so I'm just going to go.
Exactly. After the commercial break, we had a tag team match. Authors of Pain versus some local tag team.
Local jobbers, yeah. Pierre and Savon, I think. But yeah, they got destroyed. And we got to see about Authors of Pain's cool finisher, where it's the double powerbomb, run into each other, dual powerbomb, and then it went into the last chapter.
Right, yeah.
And then they cut a pretty simple dominant tag team promo / second language. Could have been gibberish. I'm not sure. I don't know their national background.
I don't know. I'm still learning this tag team, so.
If Paul Ellering was still there, I think it'd be a lot easier to get the message across. Like, the problem with NXT, and this is going far back to, like, first graduating class of NXT does a great job of telling you who this person is, what they're good at, what their history is, and then leading into a match, why this conflict is happening. And they always have these great video packages of who this character is or who these characters are. But when they come on the main roster, the audience is expected to know who these people are or do their research. And the writers probably don't watch NXT. So they even have a hard time presenting them because they're just like, we didn't watch it. Who?
Who's that?
I don't know who that is.
I'll put them in a commercial.
Yeah. Well, cut their entrance out. Go to a commercial.
By first graduating class of NXT, do you mean the original Nexus?
Well, that was a different NXT. That was the first incarnation of it when it was a reality show. I'm talking about when it was Triple H took it over.
Okay.
And you had Neville, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, like all the people that came from that class.
Okay. So once all that's cleared up, we had Seth Rollins come out and give a couple shots about Brock Lesnar.
He comes out, and the crowd loves him immediately, and he goes on a mini tangent about the rigorous schedule of a WWE superstar, going from New Orleans to St. Louis to South Africa, back to the States, to Saudi Arabia, and then to Montreal, and saying
he's still champ.
He's still champ, and he wouldn't want to be anywhere else. And immediately, like, they start doing the Montreal Canadian crowd, start doing the ole, 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 but they start doing Rollins. And even Seth was tickled by it. He was just like, that's my name. And then he dropped a Merci, and then that got him over even more.
Yeah. Which then brought out Finn Balor.
Yeah.
With Rollins talking about wanting to be the head champion, fighting for the title every week.
Fighting champion, yeah.
That brought Balor out to say, okay, put your money where your mouth is.
2-2. You've beat me twice, I've beaten you twice. Let's have the tiebreaker tonight, Intercontinental Championship. And that would become our main event.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Miztourage comes out.
Fucking Miztourage. I'm getting sick of this. It is funny.
Yeah. But, like, so last week they went to individually Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, but this week they went to them as a group, and they showed off the...
Now, hang on a sec. The last couple of weeks they had went to individually, with going to Seth wanting to be the new Shield.
Yeah.
Going to Finn wanting to be the new Balor Club.
Right.
And now they're going to them together wanting to be the new Four Horsemen.
Yep. And poor Curtis Axel, he got the worst of it. So, like, Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, they go off to the side to say, okay, we're going to talk about this. Immediately, Finn's just shaking his head. I don't want to do this. And they go back, and then Seth's like, it's going to be a hard no. And then Finn...
I love that he says hard no.
No.
It's hilarious.
And then Finn brings down the four fingers for both of them.
Yeah.
And then Curtis Axel just goes like puppy dog eyes, his chin's down. And Bo Dallas is just lifting his chin up, like, keep your chin up, champ. And it keeps on dragging down.
We'll get there. No, you won't.
And that ends in a tussle. And then they throw those two out of the ring. But then Balor comes out of nowhere with a sling blade.
Right? I forgot about that part.
Basically saying, yeah, that was fun, but we're wrestling tonight. And I want that title.
Title's mine, bud.
It would be something else if we got a heel Finn Balor.
I mean,
they
can't turn everyone heel.
They don't need to turn everybody. They just need to turn one person. Because what we were talking about last week was, why don't they just turn Roman heel? There's no other story to be told. For this time, for Finn doing what he did, it was uncharacteristic of him, so it could lead to him just going further down that rabbit hole until he realizes, frig, Miz was right. Damn it. But you're unfamiliar with Finn Balor when he was in New Japan.
Yeah.
He used to be called Prince Devitt, and he was one of the founding members of Bullet Club with Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, AJ Styles. But holy hell, I looked up his YouTube videos of heel Finn Balor, Prince Devitt cutting promos. It's just barbaric. They swear a lot in New Japan because it's a Japanese audience and Japanese product, so any English-speaking Americans can say any swear word they want.
What do you say?
Yeah, exactly. And they just it was the whole purpose of this is American group beating up Japanese superstars, kind of similar to NWO, these WWE guys beating up WCW guys. So it'd be cool if we just got Prince Devitt heel Finn Balor, no Bullet Club, so it's just him versus the world.
Okay. Anyway, after the ring was cleared, we had Ruby Riott face Sasha Banks.
No Bayley.
No Bayley this week. Sasha and Bayley still have a feud going.
So what would have been, I still think if they did allow women in Saudi Arabia for the Greatest Royal Rumble, they only needed one match. Sasha versus Bayley, loser leaves Raw. And then the final pick for SmackDown would have been Sasha or Bayley. Because right now, having them on the same show doesn't make any sense.
It's not doing anything.
The
most is they're going to get a match at a pay-per-view.
And that could alleviate all of this animosity that they have towards each other.
But again, what's that going to accomplish?
Besides a great match, not much of anything. Unless they do...
Besides the fact that who's the better wrestler?
Yeah.
Is that all that's going to get accomplished?
Because that was a whole thing. It was Sasha pointed out she's a 4-time women's champion, and Bayley pointed out, but how long were you women's champion?
A day. Each time.
She is a 4-time 2-week women's champion.
Yeah.
And she flat out said that in an interview, and I think WWE punished her for it. Because it's like, that's it's your fault.
I'm glad Bayley wasn't out there.
Yeah.
Because rather than having Riot Squad lose again and then attacking whoever beat them, having Bayley come out to save Sasha and then turn on her again, they had Ruby win.
Yeah.
So it just changes up and no need to attack the loser.
Well, Riot Squad needs a win. Same thing when Absolution was around. Absolution needed the win. They can't be losing every week because then the threat becomes less and less daunting.
Yeah. You lose and then you attack. Well, okay, people are going to start planning for that.
Yeah.
Once that match was over, we had on the screen Moment of Bliss.
Yeah, another Alexa Bliss. Not necessarily fat shaming, but also...
Bully shaming.
Bully shaming, yeah.
She's complaining that, they're at this amusement park.
Disneyland.
Was it Disneyland?
Yeah, it was Disneyland. Because it was the teacup ride.
Right. And she's just being all, wimpy, and it's she said I was short and couldn't go on any of the rides.
I couldn't go on the teacup ride because I was too short. And then there was a pig leg, and Nia Jax took it. And all I remember is her sound of her eating, and her laughing maniacally while she rode the teacups, and I couldn't.
Basically, just trying to get Nia out of the way as more of a heel.
She's trying to put the blame on her.
Yeah.
That all the bad things that Alexa Bliss did for the last year was Nia's fault. She was the scrappy do in that situation.
Good reference.
I do good.
After that, we had a Renee Young interview with Titus O'Neil.
Yeah, he had quite the botch at Greatest Royal Rumble.
Vince loved that botch.
Well, it wasn't just Vince, it was commentator.
Everyone
was just like, what the hell just happened? Did we just see that?
Like, there's no way that would have been planned.
No.
You cannot perfect something that well.
That is 100% a botch.
Which he admits that he just fell.
Yeah.
There's no denying it. He just fell.
Oh, man. I didn't actually get to watch Greatest Royal Rumble.
I didn't either.
But
sadly.
But the 3 matches that I was most concerned with were the matches that mattered. The WWE Championship match, AJ Styles and Nakamura.
The one thing I didn't like about Greatest Royal Rumble was no titles changed hands.
Except for the Raw titles.
Except for the Raw title and, I guess Braun winning a title.
Yeah, the original thought was the winner of the Greatest Royal Rumble was getting this trophy, but it turns out they had a belt made for the winner, which is cool. Braun got to hold it up high, and the crowd went insane.
I'm surprised he didn't bring it out on Monday.
Yeah.
Because the trophy was at ringside.
I think that would have just been a personal gift, because they're not doing this every year.
Well, yeah, but like, it's not like he's not going to be defending that title ever.
Yeah, exactly. Unless he.
But that didn't stop $1 Million Man from getting a title made up.
Story behind that was he was originally supposed to win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Oh, wow. I think it was WrestleMania 5 or 4. Because there was a tournament. That was when Ric Flair showed up. And there was a tournament bracket. And it was supposed to be Ted DiBiase buying his way through the tournament and then beating the champion. So it would have been the first time a heel champion would have won the title. But, of course, Hulk Hogan would be like, oh, I don't like that, brother. Creative control, brother. And so after WrestleMania, they made the $1 Million Championship for him, which would later become kind of the vessel for like Virgil or stunning Steve Austin, the ringmaster, back when he was.
Yeah. So after commercial, we had Matt Hardy on the screen with Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Basically just announcing that they're tag team champions and are the deleters of world instead of ears.
Bill Burns.
Just a simple scenery there. At which we get to 6-man tag match. Again, crowd immediately boos Roman the second he comes out.
I still stand by my story last week when I was telling you about when they were Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because Vince, Roman, and Bobby Lashley were front center, and he's like, looks at Roman. Bobby doesn't do anything, and they love him. You do nothing, and they hate you.
He does anything, they hate him.
If you do anything, they hate you. He just exists. They love him. Look at him. He's jacked.
He's been gone for 10 years.
He's better Brock Lesnar.
So to start the match, Sami Zayn says he's starting.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of goofs around a bit, tags in Kevin. Kevin goofs
Who was the
around.
legal man on the other side?
Roman,
okay.
So we got, Sami tags in Kevin. Kevin tags in Sami. Sami tags in Kevin. Kevin tags in Sami.
And it's just pop after pop after pop.
Yeah. And Sami's just dying from laughter doing this constantly. Until Roman just uppercuts one of them. I think it was Kevin. I didn't find the match very entertaining.
Not really.
But the finish was actually really good.
Yeah, it was great.
What they thought was going to be like a swing blade from turnbuckle to turnbuckle,
right,
turned into a swing blade into a spear.
Yeah. So,
which I wasn't expecting.
So like it was Roman and Jinder were legal men, and then Roman did something. I think it was probably a Samoan drop, and then he hot tags Braun Strowman in. I think it's Kevin Owens is tagged in. And immediately Braun goes to the outside and just starts beating up Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, same thing as last week, except no drop kick. But when he goes for the third time, Kevin Owens ducks him and thinks that it's all over, and then he hits him anyway.
Yeah.
And then we got that cool sequence where it was, when it was spear, and then Roman gets up, super kicked by Kevin Owens.
Right. Everyone does their finisher basically on everyone.
Yeah, Kevin Owens super kicks Braun. He's in the corner. Cannonball! But before he could even do the roll, Braun lifts himself up the top rope like Finn Balor would if he was Demon Balor, and then just grabs Kevin Owens by the foot. Pork chops. And then he just power slams 1, 2, 3. He got those hands.
Yeah. And then we also had Baron Corbin finally facing Jose No Way.
No Way
Jose.
Jose. Yeah. And I think the whole conga line was sitting down because Baron was concerned to get involved in the match.
Again, they were out there, though.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the difference between last week and this week was going to be in Corbin's eyes.
Yeah.
At which Titus O'Neil actually interrupts the match.
Yeah, there was a backstage segment back when Titus was talking about what happened at the Greatest Royal Rumble, but Baron comes out and he's like, hey man, you know what's more inspirational than having a moment like that and coming back from it? Not having an embarrassing moment at all.
Like, wow, Corbin's a savage.
Yeah. And then, so, like, near the end of the match, Titus Worldwide comes out.
Full entrance.
Full entrance.
It was funny because you got Apollo Crews and Dana Brooke
yeah.
wiping off the bottom of the ramp so that she doesn't slip again. Takes a giant step over to make sure he's safe. Climbs on the apron and then slips on the rope.
To which Baron gives him a hearty applause, but then gets rolled up by No Way Jose. 1, 2, 3. Conga line, No Way Jose. Ties Worldwide, leading celebration.
Which is starting to make me think that Titus Worldwide is going to recruit No Way Jose.
They might as well.
But does that get rid of the conga line?
No.
Or would all of Titus Worldwide get it?
Yes. Because that would be their posse. Their groupies.
Fair enough. Then we also had Mickie James with Alexa versus Natalya with Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, it was cool that Ronda Rousey came out with her.
But again, she's not fighting. She's just getting a weekly appearance.
It's smart what they're doing with Ronda based on WrestleMania. It's like, okay, we are going to have you wrestle, just not that often. It would be if they wanted to do it bi-weekly pay-per-views. That'd be fine because it's every other month instead of Brock doing WrestleMania and showing up great balls of fire and SummerSlam and he fucks off.
Well, he's probably not going to show up till SummerSlam this year.
Right. But what they're doing with Ronda is getting her in the ring, getting her in any arenas, in every other way except for wrestling. So, attacking Stephanie McMahon after WrestleMania, beating up the heel authority figure, and then she fucks off with a broken arm. Next week, interferes with the main event of Monday Night Raw, attacking the people that attacked her friend. This week, accompanying her friend and attacking the people on the outside.
Except she doesn't actually attack. She just chased Alexa around at an extremely fast pace, too.
Yeah, if she caught her, bad news bears for Alexa.
Oh, she would have died.
She would have died. Just this tiny girl underneath Ronda Rousey going,
I'm just an actor.
I'm just an actor. I'm a sports entertainer.
Meanwhile, Ronda's just, no, I'll kill you.
Yeah, she's like, I could kill you. I know how.
Meanwhile, while the chasing was happening, gave Natalya the upper hand to pin Mickie James.
Yeah, do a small package. And then, so after Alexa Bliss is on the ramp, hear Nia Jax music, she immediately gets the hell out of there. Nia Jax goes to the ring, has a mini stare down with Ronda Rousey, but then she raises both arms up like, we're the good girls. I don't like face Nia Jax. She should be like Braun Strowman in that she's a force of nature, not... She doesn't have to be a good person. She doesn't have to be a role model. Just be an ass kicker.
Yeah,
Because that she spent the last 2 years being that one chick that if you face her,
You're gonna die.
Even if you manage to win by countout, she's gonna kill you. Like she doesn't lose that often either.
No, she doesn't, because who's gonna pin her?
Well, like she did that gauntlet match. Like the Raw Women's Division winner got to face Alexa at SummerSlam. Nia went through everybody, but in a weakened state, Sasha Banks beat her to be number one contender. But that makes her look strong because she beat everybody else.
Well, I mean, Braun Strowman beat everyone at the Elimination Chamber except Roman.
I know.
Sorry to remind you of that.
God, it was so dumb. Just have him pin Roman. It doesn't... Oh my God.
Oh, okay, Danny, okay.
It was set up perfectly. He had it. The crowd went insane. They were like, it's gonna be... Are they gonna do it? Because the second he missed with the Superman punch and he went for the power slam, everybody lost their minds, and then he reversed it, and then he speared him, and then 1, 2, 3, and then...
And everyone's hopes and dreams were flushed down the toilet.
Their hopes and dreams died. Cruelly.
After the match was over, we had Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler do a promo.
For some reason, Drew had no shirt on, but Dolph enjoyed having a shirt on, and they had a chair fort in the background.
Did they?
Yeah, it was like there was chairs and it had like cloths on it. It looked like a chair fort. I don't know if Drew has kids. Dolph doesn't have kids, but it was a chair fort.
Interesting.
But yeah, Drew was just saying, kind of similar to what he was saying last week, is everybody needs to be afraid of us because we're not just people coming in for a paycheck. We are the show.
Yeah.
And we're taking it.
Oh, they are. They are taking it right to the top.
Yeah. They'll probably be in the tag team division, most likely.
At least for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they'll probably win the titles at some point, eventually lose them, and then go into singles competition.
Maybe just like the two of them go
or get
after.
the rematch and then lose.
Or the two of them chase the Intercontinental title together. Be like, okay, even if you beat me, there's still this behemoth behind me.
I mean, it could work.
It's kind of like the Sammy Kevin thing
I was
on
just thinking
SmackDown.
that both going for US and Universal, really.
Me and Intercontinental.
No, I mean when that was Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho.
Right, yeah.
They were going for the US title.
Yeah, if they could do something similar to that, like... Oh, that would be interesting. Put the Universal title on Drew. Have him beat Brock. Because, holy hell.
Now that is a match.
That would be interesting. Because...
New Age Celtic Warrior.
Yeah, the better Sheamus, yeah. And then Dolph Ziggler can be Intercontinental Champion again, because why not? And then the two of them
He's a good champion.
He's a good wrestler. It's just he needs a change. Like this new direction with Drew is a good change in the positive direction, but he needs
his attitude needs to change.
His entrance music, his entrance video, his attire, his hair, different. Start growing a dirty beard. When I think of people like always change, like CM Punk is a perfect example of that. He had various stages of he had straight long black hair. He had
disgusting straight long black hair.
Exactly, and then
disgusting beard.
Oh my God, that beard was glorious.
No, it was gross.
Straight edge society CM Punk.
It made him look like he hadn't showered in months.
Which is great, because that's the whole point of straight edge.
No, straight edge is no booze, no drugs, nothing.
Yeah, but no strange liquids outside your body.
The only thing I never understood with that straight edge gimmick is you say you don't have drugs, you don't do alcohol, you don't do anything bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yet you cover your body in ink.
Well, it's an art form, much like professional wrestling.
It's ink going in your bloodstream.
It's not in your bloodstream, it's in your skin. It's
in your body.
It's on the top 3 layers of your skin.
It's still in your body.
Well, get a tattoo, Doug.
I want one.
There. Then why are you judging him? You want a tattoo.
Hey.
Don't judge CM Punk.
I'm not saying the tattoos were the bad idea. It was the gimmick behind it.
It was a great gimmick because people... So, back to my point.
You can't say you're straight edge and have a body full of tattoos.
But that's the Punk thing.
I'm not dissing tattoos because, yes, I want one.
Back to my point. Various stages of CM Punk's career had different looks. Like when he had the mask versus hair match with Rey Mysterio, and he had the mask with the beard, still a different look, and he's moving forward. And then he had the Wolverine look, where he had the mutton chops and the hair, or when it was the newer Nexus, and he had the slick back hair and the mustache, and he was being a villain as opposed to John Cena. Like, every stage of your career, you should try to be different.
Yeah, like, with CM Punk, it was... God, he had to have, 8 different gimmicks throughout his career.
Same gimmick, just different, variations. Like, when he was WWE Champion for a year, he had the yellow Go to Sleep t-shirt, and he had that weird, kind of like the Lemmy beard that Triple H used to have, but it went in further in the middle.
Right. But, just seeing his evolution of attire, going from, ECW to WWE, Monday Night Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
Winning, the Money in the Bank ladder matches at Manias.
Yeah.
And just evolving from there. Just his entire look changes so much.
Yeah. And that's what you should do, which is what Dolph needs to do.
Well, I mean, he was Nikki from the Spirit Squad.
Yes, congratulations, Dolph. You were the one person from Spirit Squad who didn't get fired. Congratulations.
He's the one that returned after getting shipped from DX.
Oh, I wish they kept the 2 other guys. The 2 guys that came when Dolph got shipped to SmackDown. He was feuding with Miz, and Miz brought out those 2 members of the Spirit Squad, Kenny Dykstra and the fat one. Because those 2 actually do tours in the Indies.
Okay.
And, they look at Dolph and they're like, hey, man, what's up? Oh, look at your hair. Look at your hair, man. You look jacked.
Your attitude's a little different.
Yeah, you're weird. You gotta turn it down a little, bud.
Anyway, to end the show, we had the Intercontinental title match of Seth Rollins and Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Again, I say this every week. I can watch those 2 fight week after week. I'm happy.
Same thing as...
It's a good show to me.
Yeah, same thing as Sasha and Bayley. Every time they face each other, it's always something different.
Yeah.
Even if they had, a spot from the previous week, they always throw in something different. Like the Falcon Arrow superplex combination. Seth does the superplex, but then Finn gives him the Falcon Arrow. That's cool. I didn't see that coming. I just expected the spot to go normally.
Mm. But again, both their techniques...
complement each other.
Exactly. It's like the smartphone app, their WWE Champions app.
Yeah.
Where it's Candy Crush, basically.
Oh, okay.
It's Candy Crush, but every move that you make, it's a form of move.
Okay.
So you're playing Candy Crush while
the match is going on.
You have a match that does moves for you.
Okay.
And each wrestler has a strategy. So you have Roman Reigns being a juggernaut. You have, I think Neville was actually still in there. He was a technician.
Okay.
Or high flyer or something like that. But you have Seth Rollins, I think, as well as a technician. So I feel like Finn Balor is also in that category.
He is a technically good wrestler, and he is a high flyer, and he's a striker. He's an all-around performer, just like Seth.
Yeah. Match ending with Seth Rollins retaining the title.
Yep.
Overall, again, terrific match.
Great main event, too. That's the Intercontinental Championship should be the main event if the Universal title isn't around.
If it wasn't going to be the Intercontinental title being the main event, it was definitely going to be the 6-man tag.
I don't think they would have done that again. It's the same thing every week, and if they do it again, next week following the pay-per-view. It's like, do you guys know how many people you have back there?
That is true.
Like, there's too many people to not have on the show. Oh, I was thinking about this earlier. So since Triple H has taken over 205 Live, no 205 wrestlers are on Raw anymore.
I noticed that too.
Yeah.
And I'm actually glad.
Yeah, because like it's the same. It's like the 6-man tag team thing. It's every week there's a 6-man tag.
Yeah.
It wasn't a one-on-one like, other than Enzo Amore getting utterly destroyed by Pete Dunne, the UK champion, just wrecked. I was like, good on you, dude. Destroy him.
Yeah.
It begs into question Neville. Because right now, he's just sitting at home. Like, since he lost the title to Enzo, he came in and they were supposed to have a match. It was supposed to be in the main event. It was supposed to be like a lumberjack match. And he just left.
Right.
He stone cold them. And
right.
So
he just left the company because they weren't treating him well enough.
He didn't want to be in the cruiserweight division anymore. And it wasn't just that. It was, okay, you're going to put me in the cruiserweight division. You want me to be cruiserweight champion? Okay, fine. I'll blow it out the water. But then you put me on the pre-show at WrestleMania. I had the best match at WrestleMania with Austin Aries. And you put it on the pre-show. And when the DVD gets released, you don't include our match. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal wasn't on there either. So he missed out on royalty checks right there.
True.
And then after WrestleMania, Austin Aries goes away, and then he's left with nobody. And
because Austin Aries was literally getting shit on.
They weren't giving him anything. So when
You're fighting Neville. You're fighting Neville. You're fighting Neville.
But at least they had great matches.
You can't have that every week. Even though I just said that with Seth Rollins and Finn.
But, like, Austin Aries left the WWE because they flat out said, after the feud with Neville, we have nothing for you. So he took that as, okay, why don't we just agree to go our separate ways?
So he goes down to TNA.
Goes TNA, like, he's Mr. Championship. He's gone to every wrestling promotion winning their titles. And he looks...
Literally what the Hardys did.
Yeah, the pursuit of championships, yeah. But yeah, let's go to SmackDown.
SmackDown. I don't know what the writers were thinking this week.
It started off promising when they showed a clip of the Greatest Royal Rumble, Braun Strowman throwing Shane McMahon into the announce table. Holy hell. Paige shows up. It's like, hey, Paige.
I'm back.
I'm back. Easy, Paige. She announces Shane McMahon is injured following the match at Greatest Royal Rumble, and due to the results of the Greatest Royal Rumble WWE Championship match, the match that they will have at Backlash will be no disqualifications, which means nut shots out of AJ Styles.
Good on you, Styles.
Kick him in the balls. Start the match. Kick in the balls.
Rings the bell. What's that, ref?
Well, no, Shinsuke. What's that, Shinsuke? Because there's no point in distracting the ref if ball shots illegal.
True.
Unless you bring out a gun and shoot him, but he would hear it.
That went dark.
That's what I'm saying. There's no point in distracting it.
Like, that went dark.
Turn on the light behind you. There we go.
Okay. Oh, now it's late.
Yeah.
So anyway, SmackDown starts off with Miz TV having Jeff Hardy as his guest.
Yeah, basically saying, Miz is trying to, like, his last chance is at Backlash to be Intercontinental Champion, but in Greatest Royal Rumble, he was in the ladder match, which he lost, going back to WrestleMania, which he lost, basically boasting about how he is the greatest Intercontinental Champion, and asking Jeff Hardy, how great of an Intercontinental Champion do you think I am? Jeff just saying, dude, that's why you brought me out here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Please answer the question.
I consider myself to be the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time.
And Jeff's just like, dude, if you think that the greatest Intercontinental Champion is egotistical, narcissistic, what do you say, like, a C-list Hollywood actor, then yeah, you're one of the best, man.
And then he brings out Randy Orton to be his second guest.
To try and stir the pot.
It missed just being a complete shit disturber.
He tried to do the same thing with Finn and Seth before WrestleMania,
Right.
and they were just like,
It's like,
dude,
don't turn on me. Turn on each other. Get that crap going.
It was funny when he tried to do that with Seth and Finn. He tried to remind Finn of the Universal Championship match, and he's like, don't try and do that with me, man. And then he tries to do the same thing with Seth, and like, I literally just saw you do that to him.
Right. Like, what do you think that's going to work on me? At which Shelton Benjamin actually interrupts.
Yeah, because he beat Randy Orton last week in in just a one-on-one match. Since he beat the number one contender for the U.S. title, he believes that he should be number one contender for the U.S. title. So it'd be interesting to see whoever wins that match at Backlash faces Shelton Benjamin.
I can see that happening.
Yeah, well, like, there's nobody else really that's gunning for the U.S. title right now.
Yeah. After all this conflicting show,
Yeah.
it turns into a tag team match, having Jeff Hardy and Orton face Miz and Shelton Benjamin.
So they're still in Montreal, and the crowd's still really into it. They were chanting a lot of weird stuff. It was really hard to make out.
Yeah, I tune the crowd out half the time.
Like, I think they could have been ragging on Shelton Benjamin because they hadn't seen him in so long. But also the same thing with Jeff Hardy. I haven't seen him in so long. So I think the chants were in line with them. Or they were making fun of The Miz.
That's my bet.
Yeah. Because they weren't making fun of Randy. Because everybody loves Randy.
Randy's the veteran.
Yeah.
I guess Jeff is too.
Jeff is technically the veteran, yeah. Randy is second veteran. And then Miz is third veteran. Actually,
I think Shelton is.
Shelton and Randy both came out of OVW at the same time. So Jeff is first-tier veteran. Randy and Shelton are second-tier veteran. And then you got The Miz, third-tier, fourth-tier veteran.
Yeah. It was a pretty quick match, I think.
Yeah, it's a pretty standard tag team match. And then we got the RKO from out of nowhere leading into the Swanton Bomb. Jeff gets the pin, and then RKO from out of nowhere from Randy Orton. Heel Orton!
Yeah.
Orton finally gets to be heel. He finally gets to be interesting again.
He gets to be heel by himself.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Not leading on legacy and leaning on some tag team partner.
Or the Wyatt
just
family.
holding him back.
Or Wyatt family.
Or Wyatt family, yeah.
Yeah.
After commercial, we had the Iconics take over Carmella's interview.
No, it was Renee had an interview with the Iconics first.
No, it was... Renee was supposed to have an interview with Carmella, but the Iconics came in instead. So she was wondering where Carmella was.
Oh, okay. And then Carmella showed up after they kicked Renee out and made fun of Canada.
Exactly.
Like, you're doing a Minnesota accent. That's not Canadian at all.
Go away.
Go chase a moose.
What does that even mean?
I think it's very literal. Go chase a moose. It's like go chase a bear. There's plenty of bears around Canada.
Not in this area.
Well, no, we're pretty,
We're pretty in the city.
yeah. We need to go out to Shelburne area and find a bear.
Just go to Wellesley.
Fort which?
Mike.
Wait.
It's Family Guy Adam West.
Oh, yeah, when he's like, thank you, Justin. Or no, thank you, Phil. My name's Justin, Mike. It took me a while to be like, I know that reference.
Anyway, after the interview, we had another interview on the screen with Daniel Bryan.
Oh, yeah,
But it was the interview after Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah. And so he wasn't medically cleared for the show due to the rash they had in his chest.
I don't think that was a rash. I think that was just constant
Well,
chest attacks.
I think it evolved into a rash. That's what they were afraid of. It could have evolved into a chest infection. So they were like, we don't really feel like getting other people infected. Just stay at home. Be with your wife and kids. Kid. Dogs.
Singular.
And you could have a couple of mini Daniel Bryans out there. Maybe one or two. Definitely not like Dolph. Dolph probably has like 10 kids out there.
Well, Kurt has 5, 6.
You forgot Jason Jordan.
So after that pre-recorded interview, after commercial, another backstage segment with the Bar running into New Day, laughing that they still are not Raw Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, because a week prior, New Day, the Bar crashed in on New Day's celebration of the Book of Booty, and they said that they were going to come to SmackDown Raw Tag Team Champions, and New Day was like, "Oh, who said they were going to be Raw Tag Team Champions? Who? Oh yeah, you guys did. You lost." And they were not. Face. And then what came next was the one thing I can't unsee. Bootyworth, the pancake butler to the New Day, which I assume is the guy that was carrying Big E last week.
Probably.
When they ran into R-Truth and Ty Dillinger.
What were they calling the guy?
Bootyworth.
Bootyworth
came in with a plate of pancakes, and Big E will be the breakout star of the New Day. If they ever go for a WWE Championship match and do the Freebird rule, Big E will be the centerpiece of that. But he brings out body oil as the pancakes show up and starts rubbing his chest slowly and erotically, especially around his nipples, and I was just like, why are you doing this?
No.
Stop it. I can't. Stop it. This is a kid's show. My mom watches this show.
No, she doesn't.
That's a JBL quote.
I know. I just wanted to crush your dreams.
My mom likes wrestling. And then, so after the destruction of pancakes due to Sheamus, Big E assumes that he's going to wrestle Sheamus. And he's like, nah, dude, I wasn't talking to you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll just get back in line. Sorry.
I'm third in line.
I'm third. I will cross my arms. And then Kofi was wearing these weird medical gloves, and he assumed he was going to wrestle him. Nope, little Xavier Woods. And he drops a Mortal Kombat quote. "Tonight, Sheamus, your soul is mine." The crowd didn't really get it, because a lot of young people...
I don't think they understood what he said.
Maybe.
I know I didn't.
Your soul is mine. Shanks some quote. Even the New Day was just like... Oh, what I loved most about that was when Sheamus is talking, and he finishes talking, Kofi and Big E were just like, man, Sheamus is the worst. And he's standing right there.
Yeah. And then after that, we had another commercial, which when we brought back to the show, another backstage segment. This is going into 45 minutes to an hour into the show already.
Yeah.
Only having one match.
Yep.
But we have Rusev Day rehearsing for
Aiden's new song
and lyrics just in general.
Yeah.
Which is interrupted by the return of Lana.
She looked great in that t-shirt.
Oh.
She was so psyched to be in that t-shirt.
But it threw me off. She wasn't talking in a Russian accent.
I didn't notice it.
Yeah. She wasn't in a Russian accent this time.
Interesting.
They might have scrapped the whole ravishing
Russian thing, yeah.
Because, Rusev is no longer Russian.
Yeah, he showed up Bulgarian, and then they went the Russian route when he was U.S. champion, then went back to Bulgarian. And basically, Lana doesn't think that Rusev is as successful as he should be. He thinks that Aiden and this whole Rusev Day thing is holding him back.
But Rusev loves it. He has a holiday dedicated to himself every day.
Yeah.
365 days a year.
And they're chanting 3 of one out of the 3 words that they're chanting when Rusev is in the ring is his name. Why wouldn't he love it?
Exactly.
She's gonna just,
If she breaks them up...
I think if they wanted to, like, okay, so they'll threaten a breakup, but I think what it'll come down to is maybe they get into, like, a tussle with the Bludgeon Brothers, and Aiden protects Lana, and Lana takes that as, okay, you're not just here to piggyback off his success, like, you actually do care about him and me.
Yeah.
Let's try and work this out. Because there can't...
Or try and steal Lana from Rusev.
Oh, it'd be so dumb.
It would be. But I can see it happening.
Don't Chris Jericho in this situation. No, Chris Jericho and Christian. Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyway, we had a commercial after that.
Oh yay! I love Mountain Dew. It was on the stream I was on. There was a Mountain Dew commercial.
Okay. That was not us.
That was my upstairs neighbor, who might have been murdered on Monday. Not by me, but by an intruder. It scared me.
Drinking blood off the knife there.
God damn it.
So when we came back from commercial, we had Big Cass come out, and the commentators aren't sure why.
Yeah.
He wasn't expected to come out.
Yeah, we only had 3 matches on this card, Big Cass, not 4. So what do you want, bud?
And again, he's calling out Daniel Bryan.
He's doing the whole thing where he's basically embodying the idea that Vince McMahon has, like back in the 80s when you're in WWE, it's the land of the giants. Everywhere else, you don't have giants. Everyone's just 5'5", 6 foot. But when you're in WWE, you're over 6 foot, 7 foot tall. And he embodies that old mentality that giants are a force of nature. They are dominant. They are a force to be reckoned with. And they should be treated like a big deal. But I just felt the whole segment went on too long. And I don't care for when they do what they did next, when it was, okay, Daniel Bryan's music hit, and it was a little person.
Which, at first, I thought, okay, it's Hornswoggle. He was at Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I don't know.
It makes sense to have him as doing this. But then when he got a boot to the face,
yeah,
the wig flew off, and it didn't look like Hornswoggle.
He had black hair.
So he said the guy's name at some point, but I can't remember who he said it was.
Well, you remember at WrestleMania for New Day's entrance, how they had all those little people dressed as pancakes?
Right.
Just watch that replay again. You'll see them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was one of the short stacks.
Yeah. Possibly.
So that ends, and guess what? Another commercial. This is like an hour and 10 minutes into the show out of the 2-hour event.
Yeah, we got into the second hour, and we had our second match finally.
Not even at that point yet. We had another interview, but in the ring, with AJ Styles.
Oh, yeah, because Shinsuke Nakamura wanted an apology for the appalling actions of AJ Styles at Greatest Royal Rumble.
And causing a double countout.
Yeah.
In which Samoa Joe comes out.
And Samoa Joe's the situation. Which is a positive thing.
Which is a positive thing, because Joe states, I don't care who wins at Backlash. I'm coming after the winner. And that title is mine.
God, that would be great.
He is just destructive.
He is destruction on wheels.
Well, I mean, he is the destroyer.
He's nice. He's the Samoan submission machine.
Well, isn't his graphics destroyer?
No. It's SoCal. But no, Joe... The thing about Samoa Joe is he's been injured a couple of times since he's come onto the main roster. But every time he shows up, he immediately goes to the top. Because he's like, this is where I should be. This is where I should be. I don't care who is on top. I will beat who's on top, and then I will continue to win.
Because he's the favorite and he has the talent.
He can wrestle, he can talk, he can fight. He's a big son bitch who spits fire. He leaves Roman Reigns shaking in his boots.
While he's in the corner.
Yeah.
Tucking his tail between his legs.
Fixing his ponytail. It's not that we hate Roman Reigns, we're just disappointed in him.
Which is a lot worse.
Yeah. But yeah, Samoa Joe, after he says that, Shinsuke Nakamura music hits. I love his new music, by the way. They added the Japanese rappers into the song.
Okay.
And somebody did a meme of what the words actually mean. And it's along the lines of, I'm going to kick you in the balls. I'm going to punch you in the balls. When you're not looking, bam, right in the balls.
Kind of like the old style. Pow! Right in the kisser.
Pow, right in the kisser.
Except the kisser is your balls.
And Samoa Joe was so hyped to fight Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh, he was ready.
They went to war in NXT. They traded the NXT title 3 times. Joe beat Shinsuke, Shinsuke beat Joe, Joe beat Shinsuke. And then around that time, that's when Shinsuke got on the main roster.
Okay.
But yeah, then Shinsuke Nakamura teleports into the ring and nutshots AJ Styles one more time before Backlash.
From behind.
Yeah. And he does his slow, maniacal, robotic movements. And you think that he's going to go for a Kinshasa to the back of AJ's head. But then he runs, moves out of the way, goes into the corner, and then Kinshasas his face. Basically plays with the crowd.
I don't get why he has his hand shaking like right in between his legs during the build-up of that. It's like, why do you look like you're jerking off?
Well, it was funnier when he went into the corner to tease again doing the Kinshasa, and he's like really putting his body into it and like just going back and forth, and I'm just like, holy hell, he's gonna break his legs.
He's got long ass legs.
He does. He's a very slender man.
Yeah.
Makes him a good surfer.
Backstage. Yeah, we had a backstage segment with Becky Lynch. Incoming in with Charlotte and Asuka.
Mm-hmm.
For the main event of SmackDown, which was a 6-woman tag match. Facing Carmella and the Iconics.
What did you think of this segment?
Pointless.
Yeah.
That's all I can say is 3/4 of this whole show is pointless.
For Asuka and Charlotte, there still needs to be that you broke my streak, you took something from me. I couldn't take the title from you, but now you don't have the title. So
why are we friends?
Why am I tagging with you? Like, you're not the champion anymore. You get the champion's rematch, but if you win or lose, I want my rematch for that title.
That's the thing with the writers now. They're not giving the rematches.
No. When New Day lost to Bludgeon Brothers, they said on the next week, when they had to face Usos for the right to challenge them,
right,
the New Day have waived their rematch clause. They want to face Usos. They want to earn that shot. So when Usos beat them, New Day could come out the next week and be like, we changed our minds. Champions clause, we want a rematch, and then a rematch from WrestleMania.
Yeah. That's interesting that they waive it, though.
Yeah, it's not the only one. I think there was another one. Another champion that waived their rematch clause.
I can't see the Universal Champions having that waived.
Well, you can't.
With Finn, it was obvious because he had shoulder injury.
Finn hasn't gotten his rematch for the Universal Championship. He should have had it at Royal Rumble. We got that triple threat match instead. It's still in their back pocket that they could pull it out at any time. All Brock has to do is show up and inspire a match. But if he's not showing up until SummerSlam, there's no real point.
again, I don't know what they're doing.
If Roman ends up beating Brock at SummerSlam, then just have Finn show up and be like, "Oh, that's cool. The Universal title's on Raw." So, remember last year when I founded the title? Or 2 years ago, I never got my rematch, so you're going to have to do bam and the kisser.
So after that backstage event, we had finally the second match of the night.
Yep, Xavier Woods versus Sheamus with the New Day and Cesaro at ringside.
Which stirred up a lot of
the pot. Cesaro had in his jacket counterfeit pancakes. He was like, "Hey kids," like when the trench coat, "Hey kids, I got what you need. You want to buy something?" And Xavier's like, "No, go away, sir."
And then throughout the match, just trying to cheat for victory.
Yeah.
Big E finally taking him off the apron, ready to give him like a snake eye into the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Which Cesaro reversed and threw him into it.
Yeah, and then he does the Ric Flair strut.
After ducking under Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
At which Xavier Woods is stricken by that. Gives him a nice little kick through the ropes.
And all that was stirring from the fact that Xavier wanted to do his top rope elbow when he walks on the ropes and the elbow drops and he goes across the ring.
Right.
I saw him do that, I think it was at Battleground against the Usos in one of the many tag team matches they had. Holy hell, he gets some air. And he goes so far.
Yeah. But after kicking Cesaro through the ropes, he is then thrown into the barricade.
Yeah, by Sheamus. And then thrown back into the ring. Sheamus is trying to go for the finish, but he's distracted by Kofi. And then Xavier rolls him to a small package. 1, 2, 3, New Day beats the Bar.
Which kind of upset me a bit.
A little bit, yeah. I think if they do like Cesaro and Big E next week, they'll pick up the win. And they're like, because that's the thing about the New Day is because there's 3 of them, if you can beat all 3 of them in individual competition and then go into a tag team match, and because there's different combinations,
right,
there can the story can keep developing. It can be the new Usos New Day rivalry while the Usos are figuring out what to do with the Bludgeon Brothers.
True.
Or until like Sanity shows up. Same thing with Andre Cien Almas and Selena Vega. Most likely like post Backlash or somebody shows up at Backlash.
So we had that match end, and we got Paige on the screen backstage.
Yeah.
Calling in Absolution.
Yeah, have a nice little reunion.
And what Absolution thought was they got called in so that they can figure out which one of them is going for the SmackDown Women's title at Backlash.
Well, no, they wanted to figure out... Well, because it's already Carmella versus Charlotte.
Right, sorry, it was for a WWE... It was for a title match.
Yeah, they wanted to
figure... number one contender.
Because Paige is running SmackDown, and because Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are on SmackDown now, it begs into question, which I thought of when they got thrown over to SmackDown for Riot Squad, what's the dynamic going to be like? And it was pretty clear Paige needs to be a neutral party, kind of like how when Seth came back from injury and Stephanie was telling him, like, when the brand split first started, hey, like, the authority's over, we need to step back and I need to be neutral.
Right.
So that's what and then she flat out said, Absolution is dead. So it's going to be Mandy Rose versus Becky Lynch
next week. And then she was kind of like, what?
What? But Mom.
Literally. Anyway, we go back to SmackDown for the 6-woman main event.
Yep.
Charlotte, Becky, and Asuka versus Iconics and Carmella. Carmella comes out with the title and is gloating again.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm champ. Woo me.
She's queen shit.
Yeah, Mela is money.
Yep.
That's her slogan. I didn't really find the match to be much at all.
Not really.
It wasn't entertaining. Just similar to the 6-man tag on Raw, when all they were doing was just keeping one person in their corner, beating them up constantly until eventually getting the opportunity to tag someone else.
Like that, understandably, that is like a general 6-man tag perception, but it's just, they could have made it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. But again, they eventually it gets to the point where one person does one signature, a new person comes in, does their signature on them.
Yeah.
Next person comes in. Finally, it gets to be Asuka being the legal woman and just going ape shit on
everyone.
Peyton Royce.
Yeah.
Doing the bounce off the ropes, booty to the chest. Getting the 1-2-3 victory.
Well, no, she did. What happened was they go to the ropes and try to do that. You block in like for a German suplex. You push into the ropes and then you roll up.
Right.
And then, but Asuka reversed that into the cocaine clutch.
Right.
And she got the submission
Asuka
victory.
lock.
Yeah, the Asuka lock. Right.
Right. That was the victory.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it for the show. There wasn't much after it.
Wouldn't it have made sense for Charlotte to have Carmella tap going into the pay-per-view?
You would think.
Because...
But Carmella's just... No. You guys fight.
Right.
It's not a loss in my books.
So yeah, SmackDown wasn't much, which is a shame because it was the go-home for Backlash.
Yeah, 2 hours of just...
Promos.
Promos and interviews. It really wasn't much.
But on the plus side, Backlash, for the most part, is the first pay-per-view outside of the Big Four to be co-branded. And there's going to be a lot of brand versus brand matches.
Yes.
Miz and Seth for the Intercontinental title. Roman versus Joe. Randy and Jeff, but both of them on SmackDown. Charlotte and Carmella. Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax. I don't know if the tag titles are on the line.
I haven't heard any promotions for it.
I think Usos and Bludgeon Brothers, maybe? Or maybe not, because the Raw tag team titles are on the line.
If anything, that probably will be a match. Yeah, tag team titles are kind of just like an iffy match at pay-per-views now. It's not a necessary match needed.
Yeah. It could. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on for the tag team division, and then you never know with the 205 Live if they're going to be on the pre-show.
They'll probably have Cedric Alexander do a pre-show match.
Probably.
With having 205 Live taken off the Raw card, people forget. Unless they stay after SmackDown to watch the hour of 205, it's not something that
it's not must-see TV.
Exactly. You're not forced to watch part of it.
But on the plus side for 205 Live, a lot of those guys are showing up on NXT. And because the UK champion often shows up in NXT or 205 Live, it's those three brands that are basically the third brand.
Yeah, they're like the new ECW kind of.
Pretty much,
thing.
but the UK division doesn't have their own show yet. They're possibly UK King of the Ring show.
Yeah, I was gonna say, aren't they gonna be having another tournament soon?
They're having another Cruiserweight Classic. They're having another Mae Young Classic. The UK show, King of the Ring, isn't going to be a King of the Ring tournament, which really sucks because I want the King of the Ring tournament to come back because they need tournaments. Like, that's the best way to set up a match for Brock. Set up a tournament.
Yeah.
Braun can win the whole fucking tournament. Finals can be Braun and Roman, winner faces Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Do that. It writes itself.
Now, having said that, bring back the rumor of Bobby Lashley fighting him at SummerSlam.
If it happens, I'd be happy for it. But if it doesn't happen because they want to put on a younger guy, I get it. Because right now, because Bobby Lashley is from a forgotten age of WWE, like back when Batista was world champion,
right.
and Undertaker was still around, and Edge was becoming the rated R superstar, ultimate opportunist. It really is a forgotten time for WWE, so they have to slowly build him up, because like unless you watched Impact or you followed Bobby Lashley's MMA career, and I checked again, 15-1.
Damn.
Yeah. So they have to slow build him. If they do Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, I'd be fine with that. No title involved. Put the part-timers in a match and have just Bobby Lashley beat the crap out of Brock Lesnar to finally become better Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Well, I think that wraps up this week's episode of DDT.
Yeah.
We're on YouTube and SoundCloud. Like, subscribe, comment, tell your friends.
Tell your mom. Tell your dad. Tell your husband, because we're coming after everybody.
DDT is for everyone.
Yay!
I'm Doug.
I'm Danny.
Thanks for listening.